Well, hey, 4th and 5th grade group leaders, I hope you guys are all having a great week. Happy spring. I want to take a second and walk through our small group guides for you guys this weekend. We are in the last week of our series, Jump Ball, Finding Peace in the Madness. This weekend, our bottom line is we can have peace with others because God made peace with us. I'm sorry, we can make peace with others because God made peace with us. That's our bottom line for this weekend. I'm going to dive right into it. 3 activities. The first activity is a fun game. You're going to split your group up into 2 teams, and the teams are going to pick one person to be like their person that's it, or whatever you want to call it. You're going to give each team 1 roll of toilet paper. I know, this is going to be fun. You're going to set a timer for 60 seconds, and when you set that timer, they're going to have 60 seconds to decorate that one person with as much of that toilet paper as they can. And at the end of that 60 seconds, whoever covered their teammate the most with toilet paper wins. You can be the judge of that. If you want to give them more time, give them more time. You want to give them less time, give them less time. Totally up to you. And then at the end of that, you're going to give the kid that got covered in toilet paper 30 seconds to shake off without using their hands, shake off as much of the toilet paper as they can, and whoever gets the most off of them wins that one. Now, if you don't want to declare a winner because you think the kids are going to get upset, that's totally fine too. You can just do it for fun, or you can make it a competition because sometimes kids get really competitive and that's really fun as well. So that's the first activity. The second activity, there's also a little transitional piece at the bottom of that talking about how God can cover us with peace, and so that's kind of the transitional piece. And then you're going to move over to the Bible story extension discussion questions. This part is a little bit interactive for you. You're going to need to get a piece of butcher paper, and on that piece of butcher paper, you're going to write 2 headings, God and us, and then you're going to rip that piece in half. And as you rip that piece in half, you're going to start some discussion with your group, asking them what is sin? What is sin? What is it that we do that separates us from God? Have them define that. There's a definition on here that I put. Feel free to use your own words if you'd like. And then you're going to ask them to give you some examples of what sin is. If they go really extreme, I would do your best to coach them to a less extreme version of that. Obviously, lying, cheating, being rude or disrespectful to your parents, those are the kind of the go-tos for us if you need to give them some examples. And then after that, you're going to ask them, what are some words that describe God and who he is and his character? And then you're going to talk about how those 2 pieces of paper, God and us, are so different because God is perfect and we're so messy. And then you're going to put those 2 pieces of paper together. And over the top of those 2 pieces of paper where they cross over, you're going to write a cross. And you're going to explain how Jesus connects us with God because sin separates us, but Jesus makes us right with him. And so really that's a gospel presentation right there. Lead them in some discussion questions after that, talking all about how God made peace with us through Jesus. So that's the second activity. And the third activity is some prayer. There's some memory verses. There's some verses in Scripture. For 2 Corinthians 13:11, you're going to look that up, read it, talk a little bit about it. There's some questions that go along with it. And then continue the conversation about peace and making peace with others and what our motivation is behind that. And then at the end, we want to make sure that every kid has the bottom line memorized. And so take a second and challenge every kid to do that. And then there's a little prayer at the end that you can say together. Cool. I hope that's helpful. If you need anything else, let your director know, and they would love to serve you. Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.